Welcome to Secure the Bag Week 12 NFL Picks. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. Welcome back to that fam. Let's get this money. You know what it is.
Yes, let's get it. Oh, man. You know what we're here to do? We're here to make our predictions as always. And we keep it, you know what I'm saying? We keep it all the way transparent. So we'll be bringing our season totals to you all as well along the way. But want to give a quick shout out to our boy Trevor, who won Week 11 with I think he got 11 right out of the 14. So great job there.
Actually.
Yeah, because last week was a weird week, and this week is another one that's a lot of good matchups. So I'm definitely interested to hear what you're feeling, Strizzy. And then also, if you're out there watching, you know, don't be afraid to drop your comments, drop your locks along the way, and don't be afraid to compete with us on Yahoo. We got the link in the description of this video, and whoever wins each week gets a Super Bowl square. So if you haven't been playing all year, no worries. You can jump in anytime and compete with us, and we'll continue that all the way through the playoffs. So that's what's up. We also got Pops in the building already. Good afternoon, Pops. Thank you for being here with us. And we'll take a quick look at last week's picks. You know, we went 7 and 9 respectively, and it was, you know, it was kind of an interesting week. A lot of kind of close matchups, a lot of, you know, ones that can go either way. And I know personally we're both trying to take some swings at the big victory. So, you know, sometimes we pick some upsets that don't come through, and that's all good. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it moving, though. But I'll go ahead and lead us into the picks for this week. Sure. And Strizzy, you follow me up. So starting with Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, we got the Steelers at the Browns. I'm going with the Steelers in this one. They're on a roll. And, you know, with all the division games left, you know, except for that one against Baltimore last week ahead of them, I feel like they're in a great place to take the AFC North. So I'm rolling with them on the hot hand. Browns, you know what I'm saying? They really let me down against the Saints last week. That's all good. But, you know, the Browns going to Brown, as my co-host always says. So
I know. And it's crazy. I always say Browns going to Brown, but, like, I almost kind of want to pick them. It's just Thursday. First of all, Thursday games are always so hard to pick anyway because it's a short week. You're already coming off of, you know, a Sunday, possible Monday, you know, not Monday, but Sunday game. And, like, I'm still waiting for our boy, you know, Chubb to, like, really get going again and get active again. And, like, I feel like this could be one of those games where he finally gets going. I'm taking the Steelers because, you know, I can say, you know, pick with my brain, not my heart all the time, or my gut. But, like, something tells me that, you know, this game for me is on upset alert. You know what I'm saying? But I am going for the Steelers.
I agree. I'm like, that button is there, but I'm not ready to hit it yet.
Yeah,
but
no,
I would not be surprised.
I ain't applying no pressure, though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All right, moving into the Sunday slate, we got the Titans at the Texans. I expect the Texans to handle business at home. They are a good team after steamrolling the Cowboys, but, you know, there's little chinks in the armor. You know what I'm saying? There's little things that they still need to get right, but the Titans are a team that you can definitely get right against. So I'm going with the Texans.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. The spread on this one's kind of weird for me. So I'd probably take Titans in the spread because, like, they've been close in their games. You know what I mean? Like, they keep them somewhat close, surprisingly. But I do think Texans at home in a possible get-right game, they could cover it. But I'm going Texans as well. Definitely on the money line.
For sure. All right, next up, we got the Vikings at the Bears. I'm going with the Vikings in this one, but they're prone for a letdown. You know, they have, like we talked about on Tuesday on the Big Show, they are probably the weakest 8-2 team we've seen, like, in a long time.
Yep.
But their schedule, the way it laid out, is good. The Bears probably should have won that game last week against the Packers. They're getting right. Caleb Williams is running around a little bit more. But again, I'm not ready to pull the trigger on the upset. I'm going with the Vikings here just based on the stability, but I think this is going to be a really close game.
Yeah, another one of those ones where I'm just like, the Bears can't lose every division game, right? Like, they got to get one in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but and like we keep talking about, you know, they're the weakest 8-2 team, you know, that we've seen. And again, if there's going to be an upset, it's like this would be it. They're in Chicago. Chicago has a really good defense, so they are equipped to keep them from scoring high, but can they score points themselves? So hard for me to go against them right now, especially with the O-line and the coaching stuff. I'm going Vikings too, but, you know, watch my stuff. This might change.
Yeah, as we get closer to Sunday, for sure.
Yep.
One that's definitely not changing, America's team at the Commanders. I think the Cowboys, that's my squad. You know, they're going to win a game at some point, but I think they're saving it all up for next Thursday against the Giants. I feel like the Commanders are going to be a little bit too much for them. As much as the Cowboys kind of hang in there, they don't really have a path to victory in a lot of these games. I don't see how they can really outdo the Commanders. And Dan Quinn, this is his big revenge game. He's got a lot waiting for the Cowboys, so I'm definitely going Commanders.
Yeah, I'm on Commanders too. Like you said, like you talked about Dan Quinn. That's exactly what I was going to bring up. I feel like this is kind of like his revenge game. I think he wanted the Cowboys job. You know what I mean? I really do. He'd never admit that. He'd never say it, but I really do think he wanted that job. And knowing that they stayed with McCarthy another year, I think that's really the only reason why he bailed out. And I think he had something dialed up for if this team was fully healthy, and they're not. You know what I mean? On either side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they're really going to attack Diggs. I think they're really going to attack that right side. You know what I mean? Like in the run game. So I don't know. I think it might be close for a little bit, but I think eventually Commanders, kind of like how the game went last week with the Cowboys, I think eventually Commanders going to start running away with it towards the end.
For sure. All right, next up, another tough division game. Lots of good division games this week. The Patriots at the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins in this one. They're kind of resurgent, but both of these teams not where they want to be at. Mm-hmm. Drake May is coming out and kind of giving the Patriots something to look forward to. So another close game, another 50-50 for me. But I'm going with the Dolphins at home. Offense is just a little bit more explosive.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm going Dolphins as well. I'm wondering and waiting, like when are the Patriots going to start kind of focusing on their offense a little bit? You know what I mean? And in the draft or in the free agency, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they can't keep going like this. You know what I mean? Why am I purple all of a sudden? That looks weird. Am I purple to you?
Yeah, you just went grimace mode.
I know. That's really weird. Oh, no, I'm still purple. It's weird. I don't know if I pressed something, but
we'll see if it'll get itself right. But we hear you fine, and
all right, cool.
It's like a '90s filter on you right now. Music video type.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, weird. But I'm going Miami with this one. I'm waiting for the Patriots to kind of really get right on offense and really taking in that offense serious, because if they don't, they're going to be kind of like the same situation for seasons to come. You know what I mean? They got to get their offense going, get some actual real weapons, because Drake May is suffering until then.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up, we have the Chiefs at the Panthers. This was going to be our upset one, but now the Chiefs coming off that Bills loss, they're going to crush. I got the Chiefs in a big one.
Yeah, me too, man. I was really hoping that they were going to beat the Bills last week, because this is going to be an upset of the week for sure. But we have a great offensive line and a great run game, so I'm really just hoping that we can kind of take advantage of that there. But no, man, Chiefs by 20. This is going to be their punishment game, and unfortunately, it's my boy. So, Chiefs are going to roll.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up, we've got the Buccaneers at the Giants. I'm going with the Buccaneers in this one. They haven't had the season that they want to have, obviously, but they're still a really good team for being 4-6. Despite some of the injuries on their side, they still have a really solid team. And then the Giants, how they're suffering. They got Danny DeVito starting this week, so it's too much. So I'm going Bucs.
Yeah, I'm going Bucs as well. Like the NFC South is just not locked up. You know what I mean? But the Falcons just lost last week. You know what I'm saying? Bucs, I think, are coming off a bye. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they get their boy back. So I think this is something like he has to average like 90 yards a game to Mike Evans to get his
1,000 a game
in a row, 1,000. So it's going to be tough, but Chris Godwin's not there, so he's going to get a lot of extra catch throws his way. And I'd love to see him do it, even with the amount of games that he's missed, man. So I'm definitely going Bucs too. I think New York's making the quarterback change, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stats every single year, how much of a beast Mike Evans has been and how consistent. So I do hope he gets to that 1,000 yards. Definitely. Great call out there. All right, another one. This should be a beat down. Lions at Colts. I think the Lions are just rolling right now. I think they're one of the best teams in the league, if not the most dangerous team in the league. So I'm going with the Lions in a big one here.
Yeah, I saw the over on this game was like over 50, something like that. So I'd imagine the Lions are going to roll too. But sometimes that also worries me. I've been seeing the Lions get so much attention this week that I'm actually a little afraid that the Colts might keep it close. You know what I'm saying? So definitely going with the Lions, but for some reason I feel like it's not going to be the type of blowout that we saw last weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Staying away from the spread on this one. This one's a little bit too big. Pop's going with the Lions as well. Got the emojis rocking. Next up, we got the Broncos at the Raiders. I took a peek at your locks. It's going to be an interesting one. But I got the Broncos, even though the Raiders are on a 6-game losing streak, and they've got to win at some point. But Bo Nix is coming into that offense really strong. The Broncos defense has played well all year, so I got the Broncos in this one.
Yeah, the Broncos should definitely win this game. You know what I mean? Like they're the much better team. They're a better coach. They have a better quarterback. Everything about the Broncos is better than the Raiders. But it's just one of those things, and you know what I mean? Like my gut's telling me that this is going to be like an upset. The Raiders haven't won a game in a couple of weeks, and it's a divisional game, so they know each other well. And for some reason, something's telling me the Raiders are going to somehow win this game. No clue why or how, but I just have a feeling they're going to get it done. And so I'm going Raiders in this one for some reason. Don't know why.
You know, every once in a while the football gods just speak things to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to you want to keep take those messages. So, I do want to give a shout out to Brock Bowers is a beast,
Monster dog.
And like I hope he's not wasted on the radar on the Raiders. Yeah. Even without a decent quarterback, he's just a monster. So big shout out to Brock Bowers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got him on my big money fantasy league, and he comes through for me week to week, man. So I think I'm sitting in first place in that league, or first or second, but he's been a beast for me all year. So yeah, shout out to your boy, bro. He's nice.
Nice. All right, next up, the Cardinals coming off of a bye week. The Seahawks coming off of a big victory against the 49ers. This is my game of the week right here. This is going to tell us if the Cardinals are for real, if they're going to try to take that big stride in the NFC West and win that division. So I am going with the Cardinals in this one, but this is virtually a pick 'em. It's so hard to pick against the Seahawks at home, especially coming off of a win like they just had. But I'm going with the Cardinals, man. They had that extra week to prepare, and this is a man-up game to see what they're really about.
No, 100%. I actually completely agree with you. I'm going with the Cardinals too. Just like you said, like this is going to be a game to kind of prove exactly like who you guys are. You know what I mean? What you're trying to do this season, and to try to lock up the division. You know what I mean? The Seahawks are on their tails. Like you talk about week to week, like you don't know who the Seahawks are. You know, one week they look great, and then you pick them the next, and then they lose. You know what I mean? And then you go against them, and they win against a team that they shouldn't beat. You know what I mean? So for me, the Seahawks aren't a bad team. I wouldn't call them a good one either. But this is the team I think the Cardinals can beat, and they should want to beat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going Cardinals too. They're actually favored in this game, barely, I think. So
yeah, I think it's like a 1 point spread.
Yeah, it's like a 1 point spread, something like that. So we'll see.
Pops is going with the Seahawks. They do have that dynamic offense, so we'll see. I think this is going to be a great game, though. This is my game of the week for sure. Yep. And the Cardinals on a 4-game winning streak, that hasn't happened since the 90s or something. I don't know.
It's got 2015.
Yeah, exactly. At least
that's when we met them in the NFC Championship game. That's true. How far back to. They were good then.
True. All right, let's check this out. The next one, the 49ers at the Packers. 49ers coming off a big loss. Packers have a really good record, but they've had some iffy games as well. Mm-hmm. This is a tough one for me. I'm going with the Packers at home, but I don't feel good about it, man. I could go either way.
No, I know exactly how you're feeling, man. I think 49ers want to get a little bit back to basics. I don't really know exactly how injured Brock Purdy really is, but they're the underdogs. And for some reason, kind of how I picked the Chiefs when they're the underdog, that's kind of how I feel right now too. I don't remember the last time San Francisco was an underdog, maybe the Super Bowl, and they might have even been the favorite in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think they might have been, yeah.
Yeah, they might have been. So I'm going San Francisco this one. As an underdog, I think I like them. Like you said, to me, it's a toss-up game as well. They're pretty beat up, and it is in Green Bay. But I don't know. I think I'm just going off of trends. Like they are. Yeah, like they got back on track sooner or later. So I'm going Niners.
For sure, yeah, that's definitely a tough one. That caps off the afternoon. Moving into Sunday night football, we got the Eagles at the Rams. I'm going with the Eagles in this one. The Rams are looking good. They're hanging right there in the division. Like you said, the NFC West is not locked up, but the Eagles just seem to have it clicking right now. Their defense is playing better than they have been, and their offense, they know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Saquon has been probably the offensive player of the year. It's definitely changed up for them. I made that offense more dynamic, so I got to go with the Eagles in this one.
Yeah, it's really tough to go against them. You know what I mean? Like, another good team, but another very, well-coached team in the LA Rams. But like you said, the Eagles are just one of those teams where they're so good, like it's kind of hard to bet against them. Even when you're thinking, oh, the Rams are good enough to beat them, but really are they? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going Eagles too. Another upset alert type game in my opinion, but it's just based off the LA Rams past. But Saquon is he's living his dream. You know what I'm saying? He got a great offensive line. Jalen Hurts is playing extremely well. Great receivers. He's just got a running back's dream, man. Great offensive line, probably the second best line in the league. So I know he's living it up there. He's loving it.
Absolutely. All right, moving into Monday Night Football, and this is another good one. The Ravens at the Chargers. I'm going with the Ravens in this one as a bounce back. But honestly, the Chargers have a really good defense, and their offense is starting to go.
Yeah.
And the Ravens, obviously we know what they're capable of offensively, but defensively they're just not the same. So this is a really close game. I'm feeling the Ravens early on, but I think I might switch to the Chargers later. I don't know. Like, this is one of a handful of games where I'm really waffling this week, and I hate to do that, but I'm going Ravens right now. But don't be surprised if I switch that up.
Yeah, see, I'm actually kind of. It's crazy for me to go against my boys, man. But I'm actually going Chargers. I think the Ravens right now, this might be like their first back-to-back loss week in a really, really long time. You know what I'm saying? And that defense is just so incredibly bad, and they have a lot of people on the injured list right now. And one of those guys is Roquan Smith. And if Roquan Smith is sitting out because of that hamstring, I feel like J.K. Dobbins is in for a revenge game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for him and Gus Edwards to really take it to Baltimore this week. And Ladd McConkey, dude, I feel like he's going to go off too because the Ravens secondary has been atrocious, man. So
yeah,
as much as I want to be like, Lamar's going to get it done, and don't get me wrong, Lamar has been getting it done by himself on that team for a really long time.
Yeah.
He's never really had, that number one weapon at any point in time. But I just feel like Chargers just have too much. The defense, like you said, been rolling, and the offense has been really, really picking up. So I'm actually going Chargers. I think Baltimore loses 2 in a row.
Whew. I mean, I'm with you, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, dang, I keep leaning back that way.
Yeah.
Pops is going with the Chargers as well. He got the plug out there. So yeah, I do think though that it's going to be pretty cool to see. And I like the fact that the Chargers are so competitive. That defense has been solid all year. Yeah. And we talked about Brock Bowers earlier, Ladd McConkey. Obviously, I think they're number 1 and number 3 as far as rookie receiving yards. So both of them doing their thing. Georgia sorely misses both of them for sure.
Right.
But yeah, that's going to be a great game to cap off the week. All right, so that was our money line picks. As always, we like to remind everyone that this is not betting advice, just picking who we think is going to win. Just putting our opinions out there. And now we'll do a couple locks against the spread, considering who's going to win with the adjusted score. That's how that breaks down if you're not sure how the spread works. Last week you did pick up one bag with the Vikings. No. But the other ones, we had some tough outcomes last week, but we knew it would be an interesting week. Let's talk about your picks for this week.
Yeah, like I said earlier, San Francisco is an underdog. I really, really like that. So, I feel like this is going to be a really, really close game. Definitely a pick 'em type game. I love to say that, San Francisco's got to get right, but Green Bay is also, a tough competitor, and it's always hard to play at, in Green Bay. But I don't know why. Something about San Francisco as an underdog, I think they're going to come to really play this weekend.
Yeah. And that's interesting. I was going to forgot to say earlier, the coaching styles, you know what I'm saying? Matt LaFleur comes from that tree. So they know each other very well and what they're trying to do. So it should be a close game.
Very true. Yeah, this one for me is like I don't know why, for whatever rhyme or reason, I just feel like this game is going to be closer than that. It is in Las Vegas, but Broncos have been really good. But 6.5, I love if it was like 7 or 7.5. But even if they go into like overtime, as these divisional teams know each other very well, can't lose by no more than 6. You know what I'm saying? So I like the 6.5. And this one for me, like this is the one I was kind of like I'm not really 100% sure on. I feel like the Rams can sneak this one. You know what I'm saying? Or at minimum, Eagles win by a last-second field goal, but it's not gonna win by 3. You know what I'm saying? It'll be by 2 or by 1 or something like that. But I think the Rams have enough to give the Eagles a little bit of problem, especially if it turns out to be like a firefight type game. So I like these underdogs this week.
I love it. My recipe earlier this year was a lot of times going with the underdog special. So I think it might work out for you. But we do have a couple face-offs here. Actually, it was funny. I put in my locks earlier, and I was looking at yours. I'm going to start off with the Bucs and the Giants. I just think the Bucs should be able to handle them by at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
The Giants, they fight a little bit, but especially switching their quarterbacks, I don't see that DeVito is going to give them that big jump on offense. So I'm expecting the Bucs to do their thing. Mike Evans, hopefully, will have a really big game coming back. This one, the Broncos, I feel you. I actually wanted this at 6, and I saw it earlier in the week at 6, and I was like, oh, okay, at least get a push. You know what I'm saying? If something were to happen like that. But I'm going with the Broncos. I just feel like they're going to keep rolling, and I think that offense is really doing good.
They are doing good,
man. Can keep up. Yeah,
I really like Bo Nix. And we talked about him at the beginning of the year. I said his age is going to be the difference. The older you get, just the smarter you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's it's inevitable. So like I love what he's done this year. So I'm with you. You know what I'm saying this one's it's a toss up for me.
Especially when it comes to being NFL ready. Like we definitely agreed he might not have the highest ceiling out of all of those rookies,
right?
But he's the most NFL ready for sure, and it's proven out.
Correct.
All right, and then the last one, I had the Eagles on the Rams. So either one, though, we're guaranteed that we're going to get some bags. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
One or the other, but one of us is going to cash it on these. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a close game, but I like the Eagles, man. I like what they're doing, so they always find a way to get it done. We'll take a really quick look at our money line records for the year, and then also our locks for the year. And we're hanging in there, man. We're doing our thing, but a triple bagger is coming soon. I can feel it. But lastly, so going back to tonight's game, the Steelers and the Steelers and the Browns, I should say. You got any specials or any props that you like for tonight?
I like Chubb, man. I feel like I was saying earlier, I feel like, obviously it's gonna take a little while to get back. Like his ACL leg injury was worse than a lot of others. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back and look at the video, like it was horrible. You know what I mean? So like, even though he's he was ready to come back when he did, like you can't expect him to be, Chubb right away.
Chubb.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I do like what the Steelers have done. I do think they are a for real legit contender, but they're still not, they're not holding
a juggernaut.
They're not holding teams to 3 points a game. The defense ain't doing none of that, and the offense still ain't, putting up averaging 30 plus. You know what I'm saying? So like they can still be beat, and I'm looking for Chubb to just get right. So like I like his over on his rushing yards, and I'm taking him for an anytime touchdown, and I might even go for two touchdowns for Chubb tonight. I think he has kind of like his breakout game. I'm hoping that for him anyway, because he's just such a monster, man. I hope for him to get back to his running back ways, because he's been a beast, and I'd love for him to get back to that. And then, but aside from that, like I was looking at the props, like a lot of the stuff I didn't really like too much. You know what I mean? Like Steelers don't pass the ball a lot, so I'm not really big on their receptions or their receivers' yards. You know what I mean? One week their guy will do really, really well, and the next week he'll have 40 yards receiving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really know about all that, but yeah, I don't know. I think I like the Browns more, because even if they get down, play script is going to have them, throwing the ball and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to play a lot more towards the Browns players this week than I am the Steelers players. What about you?
I feel you. I'm kind of along the same way as like Russell Wilson and Pickens. Their stats are a little bit inflated, or their over-unders are a little bit inflated. And they are big play dependent. So if they hit the big play, I can see them hitting that, but they might not. The Cleveland Browns still have a really good defense, and these are division opponents, so they're going to be ready for that. I agree with you, though. I do like Chubb. I think he is going to have a breakout, and I feel like if the Browns are going to do well, they're going to need to run the ball consistently early in the offense. So I like the lean towards Chubb and his over. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I don't trust Najee Harris either too much.
I've never trusted him. He ain't
it's
been good.
It's not worked out the same way for him. So
they haven't had a very good offensive line his career so far, but like because of that, he just hasn't panned out. You know what I mean? Like he could very easily be kind of like a Saquon type player, where like you put him on a team like the Lions or the Eagles, he just turns out better, but he just hasn't been very good there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. I love it, though. And I think you guys convinced me on that Chargers-Ravens, man. I think I'm going to have to switch it up. I was on the fence. But I trust y'all's expertise. So that was our Week 12 NFL predictions. Appreciate everybody joining us and watching, and appreciate Pops making your predictions along the way.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you guys next Tuesday for the big show, episode 270 something. Dang, I don't even know where we're at. Yeah, I think we're just did 273, so we'll be 274, and we'll probably do the big show and secure the bag all at once on Tuesday night, since we have all those Thursday games, and we can what I'm saying, get to our Thanksgiving plates. So that's what's up. I appreciate you, Pops. I think we're gonna have to lead in with the beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, hams, hog. But until then, much love. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Barney.
Peace.